I want to go across to Rahul Srivastav because he looked at that ceremony very closely. Questions first being asked about the Prime Minister being the master of ceremonies. Arema Sundaram tried to respond to it. And Kanchan Gupta makes an important point about going back to the original symbol at the Sarnath lions. If you look at the lion that's atop the Ashoka pillar, this is what it looks like. Don't look at those 2D, 3D drawings because that's just a pencil drawing of what is actually seen on top of Sarnath. Rahul Srivastav.
See, Rahul, when one stood and watched from a distance what the statue, the emblem looked like, I think one was taken by the sheer size of it. I think that's where lies the problem. The 6.5 meter tall structure has actually weighs nearly 9,500 kilos. It is resting on 6,500 kilos of steel structure. Now, see the process which it has gone through. 100 artisans, it is 32 meters above the ground. First, a computer sketch was prepared, then a clay model was prepared, then a lost wax model, it's a technique, then a wax model, and then a bronze cast was created. Now, in that, if there are certain artistic variations or variations due to creation, one really can't say, because I think nobody can actually judge a small picture with a huge structure like that, because there might be variation. Eventually, you're creating something in metal. What actually strikes you is the sheer size of it. Yes, it does look fierce, but does it look fierce only because it is fierce, or it is because it is so large? I don't think anybody in this country or the world ever has seen an Ashokan symbol, lion capital symbol like this ever in their lives. And I think it will sink in. I think it will sink in. There is a bit of an aggression visible, definitely, but is it a huge variation? I think one will have to go back literally to Sarnath, view it in the museum, and see if there has been some tempering, whether the molars are larger, the fangs are bigger, or the talons are, the lion's nails are bigger, the horses are mutilated. I think all these are parts of the debate. I think we are getting used to the idea of bickering over national events. We create grounds for them, Rahul. For example, I think the controversy about the Prime Minister unveiling it, I think that also is a very interesting element, that why is it being raised at this moment? Arema Sundaram raised the point. If you go back to the Constitution's Article 79, it says there shall be a parliament for the union which shall consist of the president and the two houses. Means the president is the intrinsic part. Even if you go to Call and Shakdar, it says that the parliament consists of the two houses and the president. Now, the order of precedence issued on the 26th of July 1979 clearly says President number 1, Vice President number 2, Prime Minister number 3, Speaker number 6. So I don't know why this order of precedence that the Speaker should have been allowed. If Speaker should have been allowed, then in 1956, Jawaharlal Nehru should not have unveiled the picture or portrait of Lokmanya Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak inside the Central Hall of Parliament, because the Speaker, Mr. Mavlankar, was around. Now, all these fine prints have been violated in the past. If you see the Parliament Annexi building, inaugurated by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, October 1975. Rajiv Gandhi in 87 inaugurates the Parliament Library building. Now, if Prime Ministers have been doing it in the past, and you call this a violation, I will say it is a bad precedence which has become a habit now.
This is a high-quality debate, and I really appreciate the level of depth our speakers are being able to add. Let me put that question to Jawahar Sarkar. One, respond to Arema Sundaram saying that the Prime Minister, as the head of the executive, is way above the Speaker in inaugurating things like the lions on top of the Parliament building, and it's been done going back to Indira Gandhi, going back to Pandit Nehru by several Prime Ministers in the past. So why complain just because Prime Minister Modi is doing it and you don't like his politics?
No, that's not the question. That's being oversimplistic, and we have had a lot of information, some relevant, some not so relevant. Now, Prime Ministers may have unveiled pictures, portraits and others. This is not the same as in unveiling the national symbol on the top of Parliament House that will hopefully be lasting more than 100 years that the present house has lasted. So it's not that. The question is not whether the Prime Minister had the right to do it. We don't get into such pettiness. We said that why went leaders from the opposition also called for a participatory environment. That's all, to show the breadth of heart. That was the only question that I had raised on the question
No,
of
but let's
the
now
program.
come to the mouth of the
And
lion.
regarding
Because what I
the
did is when I was
scientific-
hearing Kanchan
If you
Gupta
have the
speaking,
BJP
just one second, one second, Sanju. What I did is I got our producers to pull out from the Sarnath Museum website what the lion on top of the Sarnath stambh looks like. So now, there you see the image on your right is the image from the Sarnath Museum website, right? So it's the ASI, the Archaeological Survey of India website, which is now on your screen. There it is on your screen right now. There the mouth is open. Let our producer zoom in to the extent that's possible. There the mouth of the lion is open. So I think Kanchan had a point where he says don't look at what you see in your textbook because that's really just a pencil drawing. Go back to what's maybe the mouth is open a little bigger, but none of us are experts on this. But that lion looks closer to the lion that we're seeing on top of Parliament versus an actual textbook. That it is, that image from the text, from the website of Sarnath Museum, asi.org gallery. So if you want to go and check this out yourself, if this debate is something that's got you agitated, the mouth is open. So it's not as if the mouth is shut, and in that sense, Sanju Verma, Kanchan Gupta makes an important point that look at what you are comparing with. Don't compare with a pencil drawing. Then of course it looks very different. Compare with the original.